Tired of cluttered cabinets, mismatched tiles, and a kitchen that just doesn't feel like home? That's exactly where this story began. Welcome to my Japandi kitchen remodel, where simplicity meets warmth, design meets functionality, and most importantly, transformation happens without breaking the bank. Today, I'm excited to walk you through the full journey of turning a dated and disorganized kitchen space into a serene minimalist oasis inspired by Japandi aesthetics. This isn't just a renovation. It's a story of mindful design, upcycling, and creative DIY. Let's rewind to the beginning. When I first stepped into this kitchen, it was, well, let's say it had potential. The cabinets were heavy, dark, and chipped. The backsplash had yellowed with age, and the lighting was a dull fluorescent fixture that cast more shadows than light. The space felt cramped and cluttered, definitely not the calm, functional environment I imagined. But I knew from the start that I didn't need a full-gut renovation. With the right mindset and a little elbow grease, this kitchen was ready for a Japandi-inspired revival. For those unfamiliar, Japandi is a beautiful hybrid of Japanese and Scandinavian design principles. It embraces the minimalist, clean lines, and functional sensibility of Scandinavian style, while blending it with the natural textures, calming tones, and wabi-sabi philosophy of Japanese design. At its core, Japandi is about intentionality, about creating a space that is both beautiful and deeply livable. And that's what I set out to achieve with this kitchen. Now let's talk design. The plan was simple, yet deliberate. First, I wanted to lighten up the entire space. That meant saying goodbye to the dark cabinets and hello to a soft, natural wood finish. Instead of replacing all the cabinets, I kept the frames and doors, sanded them down, and painted them in a calming shade that mimics untreated ash wood. Light enough to reflect natural light, but still warm and earthy. For the hardware, I chose sleek matte black handles with clean lines that add a touch of Scandinavian contrast without overpowering the simplicity. Next came the color palette. Japandi thrives on balance, so I leaned into a combination of creamy whites, soft beiges, muted grays, and natural wood tones. To brighten the space even more, I replaced the old backsplash with classic white subway tiles. Their subtle texture and clean lines felt right at home in a Japandi kitchen. I used an off-white grout to soften the contrast and maintain a harmonious, fluid feel. Lighting was a game changer. I swapped the outdated ceiling fixture for a set of warm pendant lights with linen shades. Their soft glow adds warmth in the evening and helps create a cozy, inviting atmosphere. During the day, natural light floods the room through a newly cleaned-up window area, which I left unadorned except for a simple linen curtain tied loosely to one side. It's amazing how such a small change can completely open up a space. Let's get to the heart of this remodel, the DIY projects. There's something incredibly empowering about making your own design dreams a reality with your own hands. I started by painting all the existing cabinetry, and I have to say this was the biggest transformation of all. A couple of coats of durable matte finish cabinet paint in a soft grayish tone completely lifted the visual weight from the room. It instantly felt more open, more breathable. For open storage, I installed a floating shelf above the countertop using leftover reclaimed wood from another project. This shelf became home to my favorite ceramics, wooden spoons, and woven baskets, both functional and decorative, perfectly in tune with Japandi's duality. I also built a minimalist peg rail using a sanded wooden plank and dowels, ideal for hanging mugs, tea towels, and utensils. Now let's talk upcycling, the unsung hero of budget-friendly makeovers. I had an old wooden side table collecting dust in storage. Instead of tossing it, I cut it down, added a second shelf using scrap wood, and painted it to match the cabinets. Voila, a charming and functional little storage unit that now holds kitchen essentials like jars of grains, a few cookbooks, and my go-to teapot. I also reused a vintage metal stool, which I refinished with light-colored varnish and a simple linen cushion. It now sits neatly in the corner, perfect for morning coffee breaks or quick meal preps. One of my favorite sustainable touches was repurposing glass jars and ceramic bowls as storage for dry goods and utensils. I love how each piece adds its own story to the kitchen. It's not just decor, it's deeply personal. Japandi design encourages us to find beauty in imperfection, and these little handmade or repurposed elements embody that idea beautifully. After weeks of sanding, painting, drilling, and styling, the final result exceeded my expectations. The kitchen now feels calm, bright, and organized. The soft tones, warm textures, and clean lines create a space that invites you in and makes you want to stay. Everything has its place, and there's a quiet rhythm to how the space functions. From the recycled shelf to the handmade curtain tiebacks, every element tells a story, not just of design but of intention. If you're thinking about creating your own Japandi kitchen on a budget, here are some takeaways that really made a difference for me. First, start with a plan. Gather inspiration, sketch out your layout, and set clear goals for the transformation. Second, work with what you have. Whether it's cabinets that can be painted, old furniture that can be reimagined, or even leftover tiles from a past project. Repurposing isn't just economical, it's also deeply satisfying. Third, choose materials wisely. Stick with natural textures like wood, linen, bamboo, and ceramic. Keep colors muted and cohesive, and prioritize function in every design choice.